Hi, everyone. My name is Tommy Reed with Exit Strategy Realty. I'm your Andersonville Edgewater Realtor, and I'm here to talk with Sam Sharp from Guaranteed Rate. Sam is a seasoned loan originator who has closed almost $2 billion worth of loans. Sam is regularly among the country's top loan officers and a member of Guaranteed Rate's Chairman Circle. Thank you, Sam, for coming. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Yes. Now, I guess the biggest question I have for you, if someone is buying a first-time home, and I know we've both talked about this to our clients many, many times, but if you could go through with me and just say, okay, you want to buy your first home, what should you do? What's the first thing you need to do? Like work on your credit score. What are the parts that we need to do to get ourselves in position to buy that home?
Well, so the loan approval is based off of three key parts. It's based off of credit, income, and down payment. So you have to, as you move towards buying your first home, you have to consider your budget from two of those aspects, as far as down payment goes and income. Those two factors are going to set you up for what you can spend on a property. I always look at this from, there's two factors we look at as lenders. I at least personally, I look at this from what we call approvability and the other being affordability. And approvability is just how much can we lend you? It's not necessarily how much you want to borrow. Thankfully, most people qualify for more than they want to spend, which is great because no one wants to be house poor. You've heard that. Another term, right? Another hot topic term. So you have to consider your budget and figure out what's from an affordability standpoint. Affordability means, how much are you comfortable paying on a monthly basis? There are things that go into loan approval that are things that don't go into the loan approval, I should say, that we don't consider that are everyday expenses. For example, a lot of people don't realize that when you qualify to buy a home, lenders don't consider any type of monthly payments that do not report to the credit agencies. And that can be utilities, but pretty much almost all utilities, cell phone bills, car insurance, health insurance, groceries, gotta eat. All these things do not factor into what you can qualify for on a loan. So you have to go through, and one of the very first steps is to prepare your budget and have an understanding of what you're going to be comfortable paying on a monthly basis. Now, most people say the very first thing you should do is talk to a lender. And they're not wrong, but be prepared about those three topics. Again, credit, income, down payment. So start to think of your budget from how much you'd be comfortable paying on a monthly basis. And then as far as down payment and costs go, start thinking about how much you have available to put towards a transaction. So when you buy a home, you're going to have two things to consider. One being the down payment, which is required. There are very few loan programs that require no money down. There are down payment assistance programs and other options that people can consider. But for the most part, you have to understand how much money can I put towards this transaction? Part of that goes towards your down payment. Then the second aspect is closing costs. And I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with that term as well. So, closing costs are the fees associated with buying a home. And that can be anything from the appraisal, the lender's fees, home inspections. These are things that you pay for. There are title charges for the transfer of the ownership for the title from the selling entity to the buyer. So there's a lot of costs that go into buying a home. I mean, there's a lot of people that are out there with their hand out. Unfortunately, it's just the way it goes when you buy a property. So you have to consider, what's my budget? How much can I pay every month? And how much can I pay that day of closing? From there, you should be ready to talk to a lender. At least you have a rough idea. And if you don't, start by talking to a lender, and we'll help you have a better understanding of what your budget looks like. We can talk through those aspects with you to help translate, what that would look like. And then, when clients come to me and they have, these are the questions that I'll ask them. I'll talk through these different aspects so we can understand their budget, and then we'll talk through focusing on that affordability piece, not necessarily, again, approvability, not how much I can lend you. That's important, but we also want to then figure out, like, okay, what do you want to spend? Because we can take that monthly payment and then transfer that or translate that, if you will, into a purchase price. So now they know what price range should I look at it, at least more of a general idea. How much should I be looking at as far as property prices go, property taxes, and then if you're buying a condo, you have to consider the HOA, so you have assessments that are due on the property, and homeowners insurance. So start by considering your budget, talking to a lender about what you can get and what that budget looks like, and then from there, obviously they'll be partnered up with someone like yourself to go out and to now that they know what they can buy, they can work with you to go find it.
I really appreciate you coming on and taking the time to this. I would love to talk to you again in the future, and I appreciate you sharing a little bit of knowledge with me and all the people who are going to be watching this. Thank you, Sam.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Hello, everyone. If you enjoyed that video, just hit the like button and hit subscribe to see more videos every single Friday. Take care.